Let's give you the big details of that meeting which have taken place, or at least what is coming in through sources at the moment. Remember, no statement issued by the two sides, but we have learned that Prime Minister Modi has raised the issue of bail granted to 2611 prime accused Zakir Rahman Lakhvi, an issue that he had also raised with the Chinese leadership, which had said that they continued to support the Pakistani government stand on the issue. We are also being told that Islamabad in turn has raised a familiar issue of Kashmir. We're told that Prime Minister Modi will now be meeting the Afghan President Ashraf Ghani for bilateral talks in a short while from now. So familiar rhetoric at the moment from the two sides. India raising the issue of Zakir Rahman Lakhvi and its concerns on the prosecution of the 2611 accused being delayed. Pakistan raising the K factor that it has often done in similar meetings. Are we surprised at all, Casey? Or is this, let's be clear, this is coming at the moment through unofficial sources, if I may be used. It's not official as yet.
No, obviously the two didn't discuss just this for 1 hour.
That's right.
Each has decided to play to their domestic constituencies and chosen the issue that plays well there. So Prime Ministers use Lakhvi and terror, and Nawaz is use Kashmir. But obviously in their discussion they've gone beyond that.
Right.
Now how much traction there is in that, we don't know. What are the commitments given by each side to the other on what they propose to do, and the roadmap that in due course may emerge.
You know, to some extent, and I want to get the two diplomats, to some extent, is it the issues of Kashmir or the issues of 2611? Do they prevent the two sides from reaching out and talking on other issues and engaging substantially on other issues? Or are both the sides at the moment under pressure from their own domestic constituencies to make sure that you don't yield at all on certain issues? Kashmir in the case of Pakistan, 2611 in the case of India.
Well, I think as Mr. K.C. Singh put it, they can't talk of Kashmir and Lakhvi for 1 hour. Obviously, there were many other issues which must have been discussed. And probably, hopefully, cricket, as you said, because that's an emotional issue.
In fact, I've just been told by a source in government, we don't know where he's got the information that we don't have from Russia, saying you can be sure that the two countries will create an atmosphere in which cricket will take place in December this year.
So I think we were spot on.
He's limiting it to cricket.
At the moment, he's limiting it to cricket. I think he heard me evincing my interest in cricket, but go ahead.
So that's a positive development, and that means that there was some movement forward, or there was some desire to keep on engaging. So that's a positive thing. But as far as Lakhvi is concerned, I think Prime Minister Modi would have also been briefed that on 13th of April this year, the Pakistani High Court had directed the Anti-Terrorism Court to finish and decide on the case within 2 months. 2 months are long over.
Can I just go to Smita Sharma? Smita, I'm getting information by someone in government saying that the cricket tour is on. The two sides have given a green signal to it. Was that an expectation that there needed to be this green signal at the highest level to resume sporting engagement, particularly in the context of cricket, the possibility of a bilateral test series between the two countries in Dubai in December this year?
Well, Rajdeep, cricket is not just really, a game for these two countries. It's also been used as a diplomatic tool every now and then. If you go through, of course, this long-standing relationship, which has seen a lot of conflicts, as well as, of course, those good and high moments too. But, remember just a few weeks back, because there was this speculation that the countries were ready to play cricket. But just when Sushma Swaraj did that annual press conference, she said that these were mere speculations, that the MEA had not been consulted with, of course, and that no decision has yet been taken. But they are trying, of course, to look at an option of trying to play cricket in a third venue, in a neutral venue. Really, even as they resume this cricket play, what we are expecting is the two foreign secretaries, they will be now, of course, briefing the media persons separately. They're not going in for a joint press conference. A joint statement, though, is likely. And some interesting bits coming out from that meeting, that happened in the room in Ufa, Rajdeep. Apparently, Narendra Modi dismissed off all these allegations that Pakistan tried leveling as far as India India's involvement or RAW's involvement, be it in terms of what is happening in Balochistan is concerned, or those, the stories that had surfaced about the way MQM was being funded by RAW. This has been dismissed off, and Narendra Modi has also made it clear to Nawaz Sharif that, look, we need to build on mutual trust if we have to take forward this relationship, and center stage to this mutual trust thing is also the litmus test about 2611 tests and their trials. On the other hand, Nawaz Sharif, of course, has also said that, he's committed to finishing terror from the land, and that he will be acting against non-state actors, to which we believe that Narendra Modi has even asked Pakistan to show us proofs, because the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Rajdeep?
Okay, well, Javed Ansari also joining us, our National Bureau Chief. Javed, this information we are getting that the green signal has been given to cricket. What we've been told, you spoke to Shahryar Khan, the Pakistani Cricket Board president, who was optimistic about this series taking place in December. So while we will know much more about what India has said in the context of Zakir Rahman Lakhvi, what Pakistan has said in the context of Kashmir, are you also getting a sense that this meeting, in a sense, sends out that signal? I know Mr. Sharif is a great cricket fan. He even played an international match once against the West Indies, out for a duck, but that's another matter. But do you get a sense that this green signal is important at the highest level before the series resumes in December?
Rajdeep, what I'm being told is that, the cricket series is a low-hanging fruit, and it won't take much, because India has to play Pakistan in UAE, so it's a neutral venue. That could happen. What we are also being told, but these are all unconfirmed reports, is that perhaps they've decided that maybe at the level of the foreign secretaries or even the foreign ministers, this roadmap of how to move the dialogue further will be taken up. The two foreign ministers could meet, perhaps the foreign secretaries will meet. The details will emerge in some time from now. But what the word coming out of government is, MEA sources telling us that what was discussed was just more than cricket or stated positions. They have perhaps tentatively agreed on the roadmap on how to take these things further.
I want to get a quick Congress reaction. We are told the Congress is reacting. Just listen in.
Joining us now is Senior Congress Leader Mr. Manish Tiwari. Sir, both the Prime Ministers are meeting. What is your response to this?
The question is, why are they meeting? It's an exercise in futility. It is a meeting which is void ab initio. It's nothing but a photo op. Nothing is going to come out of it. You see, these very guys who are in government now for 10 years kept saying that terror and talks cannot go hand in hand. They invited Nawaz Sharif for their coronation, then decided to suspend the talks because the High Commissioner met the Hurriyat. Then they sent Jaishankar on a spin around South Asia so that he could ostensibly land up in Islamabad with a fig leaf. And now you are having this meeting take place. What is the policy towards Pakistan? Forget policy, they don't even have tactics. And as we speak at 9:22 a.m. in the morning, perhaps even before the meeting has started, or maybe it is going on, let me tell you very clearly, this is going to be an unprecedented disaster. And in fact, once the meeting is over, all of you people and all the analysts will also concur with my point of view.
So, but it's remarkable how once you're in the opposition, you suddenly get a voice. Manish Tiwari there, all guns blazing against the government, saying this meeting is going to be a disaster. We'll wait and see if it's a disaster or not, but Raj, you wanted to make a point.
Yeah, I think from whatever the strands that is appearing, I don't think Mr. Modi would have gone into this meeting unstructured. Exactly. I think they've worked out in some way a back channel that has come to an agreement on certain points, because this is too high prestige a meeting for both these leaders. So we are going to see forward movement. If we're getting this cricket, if what Javed is talking about...
we're also being told about multiple visas for
foreign levels. So I think they've already worked this. They've, then of course the posturing that is there, which is, you talk about terror and they talk about Kashmir. Of course, very firmly on both these fronts. But you're going to see, as I said early in the program, some significant steps that will start the resumption of the dialogue between the two countries.
I would agree.
Yeah, okay. Given that there is this sort of resumption of dialogue, just one word before I take another break, Casey, is that, what are these low-hanging fruit? To use the word that Javed used. Are there low-hanging fruit in the India-Pakistan relationship that the two sides can, in a sense, use today to show that this engagement has indeed been fruitful?
See, on a scale, they're very much in the composite dialogue, the boxes. People to people is one, which is a bouquet of things. Cultural is another, films and so on and so forth. The third one is commerce and trade. Fourth is transit, because Pakistan has a transit agreement. And I think that is the most important, because if you are both members of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, then connectivity between Central Asia and South Asia is a necessity, and that's where the Afghans come in. Because you have to restore connectivity which has been destroyed by the partition of India. That only gives relevance to Afghanistan and the role of Afghanistan or their economic existence. Now, are they willing to? They'll have to go up a ladder. It'll probably start with the easier ones and then keep going up. Disputes will have to be dealt with separately. I think if they've decided that you do not hold CBMs, confidence building measures, hostage to dispute resolution, then that is a step forward. Because you can't have simultaneous settlement of Kashmir or Siachen or even Sir Creek if you are going to say no, not even the slightest movement on anything else has to be done. And then there is a list where Pakistan does not give you the most favored. They may not call it the most favored nation, but they have to change their list from a positive to a negative list, increase the number of products. So you can have a calibrated list of things you can do as you move up.
Yes, go ahead.
Can I just quickly say something? I completely agree with you, Casey, that there are sort of several low-hanging fruit that both sides could agree about. After all, there is a visa agreement that is ready. It's about 2 years old. It's in fact almost 3 years old. So that visa agreement is ready, including visas for journalists, for business people, multi-entry visas, multi-city visas. Also, for the first time, group visas for tourists, groups of 10 from India to go to certain cities in Pakistan and vice versa. We have the cricket in Dubai, which is sort of independent of this. But I also want to say is that while both sides could perhaps do any of these, what is going to be the reaction in Pakistan? Would Pakistan today be willing to respond to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's overture? I agree with you, Raj, that the PM would not be going into this without some sort of back-channel understanding. But if you have the hardliner element in Pakistan, which is going to say that shall we dissociate or shall we divorce the CBMs from the big disputes, which is Kashmir or Siachen, I think I do get the feeling inside Pakistan that they do want to talk about these hard issues. They keep saying the Indians only want to talk about CBMs, they don't want to talk about their core issues. So I think they might want to.
We are now dealing with a stronger Sharif, both the Sharifs, let's put it this way.
I think Nawaz Sharif is actually
let me just finish what I'm saying. Yeah. Right? We're dealing with a far stronger. When you said, will it play back at home, their home? I think it will play better because both of them have come to an agreement. This meeting wouldn't have happened otherwise. Right? Okay. And you're seeing the economy do far better in Pakistan than before. Nawaz Sharif, in some senses, feeling more settled politically. All the Imran issues and everything else somewhat receding to the background. He has come to an understanding with the army, with dealing with Musharraf and other issues. So you are going to get, that is why I think India is ready to do business with them, as they are with us, because they feel Mr. Modi is now clear. He's going to step away from the hardliners that is there in the country. He's going to do something to move forward.
As we've assessed this meeting, as we say, we believe this is an icebreaker. It is possibly course correction. It's possibly a reset button to put this engagement back on track. We will know more about the nitty-gritty of it perhaps later in the day, but we'll get a final overall picture of this Friday morning when in the city of Ufa, India and Pakistan have resumed their engagement at the highest level. Back in a moment with a little bit more.